my dear intuitive academic. My name is Shelly and I created this channel to help you navigate your academic life. So I felt compelled to finally do my first reading for you today. It's currently the lunar eclipse in Taurus, and it just felt like the right time to finally sit down and do this. I've been thinking about doing this for a while. So here is the first collective reading I want to offer to you as you're navigating whatever stage of your academic life is coming up. And even though it's my first video, I kind of counterintuitively wanted to start with a topic about closing cycles and celebrating. So this reading will be a collective answer to what's something that you've overlooked that you should be celebrating in your life right now, specifically to do with academics. So let's ask that. What's something you've been doing on your incredible journey so far that you've been overlooking and that you should probably be finding some way to celebrate yourself? Okay, so the central energy right now is the Hangman reverse. So this is telling me that you've started to kind of see things from a different perspective, very positively, very kind of, I want to say willfully. And you've attained some kind of enlightened perspective on something that has you a little bit tied up. So this will be kind of the central energy that we're walking around. And so I can already tell you that you should be celebrating something, some internal work that you've been doing and has come to some kind of great shift within yourself. So we also have the Knight of Wands and the Seven of Pentacles coming up. So these two together are telling me that you've taken some kind of expressive, creative force, some energy, and walked yourself into this time of cultivation. And these two together kind of have that energy of waiting for the harvest, waiting for things to kind of come to fruition. A little bit in that Hangman state with the Seven of Pentacles too. You're not sure what the harvest will look like, but you're very hopeful and you see some promising signs. And this is all due to some kind of creative force that brought you over possibly some obstacles. Maybe some obstacles you were dealing with for a while, especially with the timing of the Hanged Man. And so this is very positive. You took positive action for yourself, probably at great internal resistance, or it took a lot internally for you to get this going, but you have some seeds planted, you're hopeful, a little bit nervous, but something is coming around. And since this is an academic channel, this can be so many different projects. This can be a dissertation, a paper, maybe a class that you're building. I'm not too familiar with the sciences, but maybe an experiment that you're working on. That's what I'm guessing scientists do. So we'll get some more information first. So you have the Four of Pentacles reverse and the Lovers reverse coming up. So this tells me there are some worries about money, possibly some overspending that happened, money kind of just slipping out of your hands. Maybe this could be like funding that you were hopeful for that kind of slipped out of your hands and you had to reevaluate and maybe reconstruct this project in a different way. The Lovers reverse is telling me that this was something of a turn in a partnership or a collaboration as well. And so because these two came together, it's telling me that possibly you were hoping for a funding or monetary partnership for this project, and it didn't turn out how you were expecting at some point. Possibly you were being limited in how you wanted to envision the project going forward by the funders, or you simply didn't kind of receive the funding you were hoping for, or there was a lack of funding and you had to, again, like I said, reroute. But that reroute has very positive energy to it, and that reroute came with a change in perspective, that even though you had this particular vision for your project, it didn't have to be that way, and it's still following through in its own path now, around, rerouted possibly by these obstacles, monetary and partnerships. And then you also get the Ace of Cups and the Five of Wands reverse, and so these are interesting together. So the Ace of Cups, especially after the Lover's card, is a new offer, a new beginning, to do with something of the heart, something that you care about, something that you love. And this doesn't have to just be a person, especially in this context. It could be a new start or a new love for your project, and also for yourself as an intellectual. You have this bird, like a messenger, coming down and dropping a pearl into your cup of love, self-love also. And I want to say this is like a beautiful pearl of an idea dropping into your hand, and you're able to receive it because you found some renewed love for your project and for yourself conducting this project. And this is kind of our ending card, the Five of Wands reversed. So reversed, this works really well for the cycle that you're going through right now. This is kind of an impasse of opinions, ideas, like too many hands, too many cooks in the kitchen. Is sort of how I'm seeing this, that everyone kind of gets stuck at an impasse, right? People aren't working together. There's just too many ideas, or the ideas aren't flowing. They're not working well. And then now, coming to complete the circle, it looks like the Knight, your energy of creativity, is moving away from that Five of Wands impasse. So what I'm really getting here is that you're individuating in whatever you're working on. There are other thoughts, opinions, or people involved, and this doesn't have to be a group project. It could be that you got, say, some feedback that disoriented you a bit from what you originally wanted to say. And you're kind of overcoming that with your own belief in yourself and your project, and you're able to discern now what are the useful comments, and what are the things you need to kind of discard and set off on your own. So I would say there's a bit here about accepting critique and discerning critique, and using that to plant the next seeds of your project. So again, I just want to reorient to the central energy that's happening here into the reading of what have you overlooked that you really need to celebrate. And it looks like you've overcome a lot of seemingly, it might seem like little things because we're not primed to recognize these as significant obstacles that we overcome and are part of a development. We just learn to kind of like take critique on the chin and, you know, be a big adult about it. But what I'm seeing here is you need to take the time to really celebrate that it took a lot of love and care for you to remain focused on your vision. You had to overcome some negativity, some failed partnerships, and some stresses to do with finances, or I would also say this could be like conservative with your ideas. Like you might have been holding something back, and you're kind of freeing that idea now. You're kind of got some confidence. I see confidence coming through on this table, especially with the Hanged Man, just like hanging out confident. Like look, this pose is just very confident, and even though there's some, he's being tied up a bit, he sees something. He's looking at the project. The figure here also looks very confident, tending to the garden, that things are going to bloom. And then of course the Knight of Wands is a symbol of confidence in taking action. So I see confidence and love happening here despite situations, and your whatever you're working on kind of overcoming that. So please take the time to celebrate yourself and what you've done to get your project across these hurdles. It looks like it's been a little bit of an internal and mental battlefield or a bumpy road, but I see perseverance here. I see like a renewed faith in yourself and your project, a renewed respect for yourself and love for yourself. And these are such important things as you continue through this journey. So find a way to celebrate yourself, you know, even internally, even something small. This can be as simple as, you know, like finally getting away for the weekend at your favorite nature spot, or, you know, making time for that family meal, like a really special family meal that you had to put aside because of all the busyness that's been happening here, all the contention that has taken up your mind, your mental space. You know, the reward can be, the celebration can be making space for yourself and to let love come in however you see fit. And okay, at this point I want to take an oracle card to kind of settle in the message here and see possibly what you can do to celebrate yourself and take the next step on this journey, kind of revitalize yourself. Let's see. So I'm going to get this one, put it here. The deer and oat healing. Oh, so here we have a perspective change, but healing is a big part of that perspective change as well. So this is the deer and the oat healing, and I'm going to read the oracle message to do with this. So the deer and oat healing says, the shy and gentle fallow deer is known for its white spots and the broad velvety antlers it sheds and regrows each year. Similarly, oats are symbols of restorative nutrition. Even in poor soil, oats can flourish, providing hearty sustenance. Upright rest and recharge, moderation and mindfulness are key as you recover from trauma or a period of intense exertion. If you were experiencing this more intensely, I would say pay attention to the reverse interpretation. You may be feeling overwhelmed and in need of a break. Consider withdrawing for a while to heal in isolation. So you can ask yourself, how do I rest and recharge? What practices nourish my soul? Yeah, so depending on what kind of intensity you've experienced this recent set of events at, you might want to simply just rest and recharge, cultivate mindfulness, focusing on your healing. And this can be like something like starting a yoga practice, maybe more of a communal bend to that. If you've been feeling this quite intensely and to the point that you're overwhelmed, the advice here is to focus on your healing through more withdrawal and isolation. So maybe finding like a spa day or a nice like herbal soak in the tub might do you wonders as you celebrate what you've come through and heal also what you've come through. So your celebration here is really also a chance for you to heal on multiple levels, body, mind, and spirit. So don't forget that it's not a one and done. This healing kind of needs cultivation, just like your project does, as you continue to go along. Yeah, and there's something else I'm seeing, because the deer is a very kind of sensitive, intuitive, in touch kind of animal. So there may be some kind of empathic, highly sensitive person qualities that you hold that are also in the mix. And I would say, yeah, if you're like that, you need to take a little bit more time healing unapologetically. This is just kind of like how the system goes for you. And I know, because I am also that way, and nothing to be ashamed of, but that's just how we navigate the ups and downs of academic life. And then also with the oat, I want to say focus on your breakfast, like oatmeal or something that's just kind of wholesome and will sustain you. So yeah, this is kind of pointing me towards food, but specifically towards breakfast foods, like something that can start you off in the day in the right direction. Also, I know a lot of us academics kind of rely heavily on caffeine and sugar, and I've learned the hard way over the years that that can be kind of detrimental actually to your energy levels and your overall health over time. So something I've learned is that your cortisol levels can be high, especially in a female body in the mornings, and caffeine can kind of adversely affect that. So what I do is I drink decaf first thing in the morning, and then I have my caffeine around like 11 a.m. And that's supposed to help with the hormone balance. So yeah, just pay attention to your breakfast practices as well. And I'm so glad to have gotten this collective reading out to you. So hopefully whatever resonates with you kind of gives you something to feel good about or to work on in the days ahead. And whatever doesn't resonate with you, don't put too much pressure to make it all fit. Just take the messages that really mean something to you. I'm just kind of the conduit and relaying what I see here in the collective kind of academic energy. And so it's all meant to be helpful in some way to you. So please do with that information what you will. And hope you take great care of yourself, great healing, and I'll see you again in the next reading.